Turn that volume up. You know you want it. It's time for Women's Basketball TV with former NCAA champion, WNBA champion, business mogul, and national TV personality, Fran Harris. Let's get it.
If you're wondering why I'm crying, if you are wondering why I am crying, it is because the Dallas Wings had to release Odyssey Sims and Monique Billings today. I am sick about it. As y'all know, some of you who are new here don't know, but I am one of the announcers for the Dallas Wings franchise. Do color for the Dallas Wings. About to come back in after the break and start doing the rest of the season. And if you've ever watched us, whether it's on Bally's or you saw us on Ion, we'll be on Ion, by the way, this Friday. Got that national game. Then you already know. You already know. I think that Monique Billings and Odyssey Sims, critical to Dallas's success, came in when they came in this season. And listen, some of y'all think it's because they want to release these players. It's not that they want to release these players. They have to release these players. They were hardships. They were hardships. If you are unfamiliar with WNBA hardships, let me hit you up on what it is. A WNBA hardship exception is a temporary roster spot that must be granted by the league. Let me repeat that. It must be granted by the league. It allows a team to exceed the 15-woman maximum roster. I don't know why this says 15 because it's not 15. We already know that. That's one of our complaints. The internet is lying. You are a liar. Exceed the 12-woman roster when it has at least 4 players who are sick or injured for longer than 2 weeks. So the hardship exception is a real thing. It's a real thing. Because you got players who come in like Monique Billings. You got players who come in. They are exactly what Dallas needed. So Greg Bibb made the right choices, picked the right players, did what he was supposed to do in bringing these players in. They are exceptional. They were critical. But now leadership has to also release these players. This is not people releasing players because they want to. I guarantee you this is a difficult situation, difficult decision, but it's got to be done. You have to do it. So where does that leave Dallas? Dallas will be bringing back, and I love this. I just texted a good friend of mine like, hey, I mean this from my soul. I love that Jaylen Brown for the Dallas Wings is on her way back into a Dallas Wings uniform. I love that. Absolutely. She's not the only one. Maddie Siegrist, who was having a great season for the Dallas Wings in her second year with the Wings. These are players. We saw Jaylen Brown in that scrimmage versus Indiana, I believe, was the first game she played in. And then she was hurt, and then she had an illness. She was out for an illness and has been out the entire season, and now she is back. Let me introduce y'all to Jaylen Brown, in case you don't remember Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown had been playing overseas most recently, and then came back in with the Wings and was balling in that game against Indiana early in the season. Absolutely balling. So just had a great take you off the bounce, great shooter, terrific attitude, incredible teammate, took some of the pressure off of Arike Ogunbowale. I was like, okay, all right, Jaylen. And remember in that first game, Jaylen was out there, but Satu Sabally was not. So everybody was like, whoa, are there going to be enough balls? Are we going to be able to see Satu and Jaylen and Arike? And who's going to be the point guard if that's the mix? And we haven't seen those 3 players together. And as y'all will remember, Satu Sabally had a mild injury. She sat out the beginning of the season, getting ready for the Olympics to play with Germany. And now she is also back. So it's about to get interesting in Dallas. Imagine this. This is gonna upset some of y'all because it upsets me not to be able to see this lineup. Imagine Odyssey Sims, Arike Ogunbowale, Satu Sabali, Jaylen Brown, and Monique Billings. What? What? That would have been one of the top 3 starting fives in the W coming off break, if it could have happened. Okay, if you're just joining the show, you know it couldn't happen because they had to release Odyssey and Monique Billings because of their hardship contracts. Again, this is why we need 14 to 15 players on a roster. It is absolutely criminal to have to release Mo Billings and Odyssey Sims. It's criminal. I don't like it. This is why we need 14 to 15 roster spots, because your roster gets depleted. Okay, you bring in some players and they work for you, and now you got to let them go. That's BS. That's absolute BS. Now, hopefully this gets taken care of in the next round of the CBA, of the collective bargaining agreement that is coming up in 25, right? So hopefully that is at the top. We know salaries are up there. We know that. We know healthcare and benefits and all those things. We know those are high on the list. But this daggum roster situation needs to get better fast, quick, and in a hurry. Like, it's got to get better real quick, because this is crazy. You know how many Dallas Wings fans are going to be completely depressed? They already are today because the news has been released. They already are like, what? And then you start thinking of where these players, who's going to pick up O? Who's going to pick up Odyssey? Who's going to pick up Mo? Woo! I do not like the news, the headlines today. But let's keep talking about the Dallas Wings. The Dallas Wings, as y'all may remember, let me pull this up real quickly. Dallas Wings valuation just became top of the league with an investment that was publicized last week. $208 million. $208 million. The Dallas Wings are reportedly the WNBA's highest valued team while carrying this season's worst record. Okay, that's from y'all's friend Google. Now, here's why it matters. The Sports Business Journal reports that recent Wings investments have boosted the franchise's valuation to $208 million. Okay? I mean, people are saying that's ironic. Greg Bibb says if people will pay it, it ain't that ironic. If people will pay it, then that can be considered your valuation. I happen to be with him on that. I absolutely agree. If you go out there and you have a nail service, as in NAIL, you have a nail salon service, a mobile nail salon service. You go to people's jobs and you do their nails on their lunch breaks. You just park like a food truck and they can get their nails done without having to get in their car, whatever. And you charge $250. You charge $250 for this service. And people are paying it. Was it worth it? Absolutely. You know why? Because people paid it. See, that's what people don't understand. Like, they want to complain about, oh, girl, your stuff is too high. Oh, man, your stuff is way too high. That's your price is too high. You need to cut it. Your stuff. No. There's a Walmart customer, and there's the Neiman Marcus, Louis Vuitton, Tiffany, okay, Prada, all right? It just depends on which customer base you want to tap into. So if somebody was willing to give the Dallas Wings, to invest money into the Dallas Wings, and it took them up to 208, and if the Dallas Wings were sold today, they could conceivably get at least $208 million for that franchise. Y'all want to know how much the Dallas Wings were bought for? Let me see if I can find that for y'all real quick, because I wasn't planning to say that. Let's see, Dallas Wings were bought from the Tulsa Shock, right, which were started as the Detroit Shock. Dallas Wings bought for how much? Let's see if I can find this for us. All right, the Dallas Wings, tied for last in the league at 619, are now valued at 208. Okay, we know that. I'll tell you what the Dallas Wings were not bought for. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Dallas Wings increased their valuation from $75 million to $208, but the Dallas Wings were bought from Tulsa. It was for less than $20 million. Guarantee you that. I will find that. I will put it on my list of things to make sure I find. I don't want to take up, a whole lot of time on this, but I guarantee you it wasn't anywhere near $80 million, $70 million, $50 million when the Tulsa Shock were bought and then moved to Dallas 8 years ago. Okay? It's crazy. So people are saying Dallas is the worst team. How can it become the most valuable? Well, just because your team is not winning doesn't mean your team is not valuable. Dallas is moving into a new arena in Dallas. So Dallas is going from playing in Arlington. Stay with me, children. Let's do a little geography. Dallas plays in Arlington, which is about 30 minutes from downtown Dallas, roughly. Okay? Arena holds about 7,000-ish. They are moving in 26 to start playing in 2026 to Dallas proper. That's my hometown, by the way. Shout out D-Town. Downtown Dallas, big renovation, big entertainment sports district is developing there. Dallas is going to be moving into an arena where they're going to be playing in, I think, roughly 11,000 maybe. That factors into Dallas's valuation. Well, you say, but they're not there yet. They're not playing in Dallas yet. They're not. It doesn't matter. It's on the books. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Contracts are signed. Moving to Dallas alone to play in Dallas, where their business will actually be in Dallas, actually has a lot to do with the valuation increase. Absolutely. They have more access to certain corporate sponsors, a whole different level of potential fans. The move to Dallas, I guarantee you, was a huge factor in Dallas's new valuation of $208 million. Because you think about the two investors who invested in Dallas bought a 1% stake for like $1 million each. That's not a substantial investment. So valuation is more than, number one, it's more than just what somebody bought it for or what the other valuations are in the marketplace. It's also where you play. It's also your corporate sponsorship plate and palette, players on your team. I mean, it's a whole mix. And it is not an exact science, by the way. So you're never going to be able to look online and go, how did they come up with this valuation? And you may see some people who will try to answer that, who will say it's this, just as I did, because those things are factors. But nobody is going to be able to tell you exactly why a team has the valuation that it has. Let's even think about, for that matter, let's think about the Dallas Cowboys. You want to talk about valuation? The Dallas Cowboys may be the most valuable, in terms of valuation, in terms of that number, most valuable sports property on the planet. Dallas Cowboys, Manchester, whatever that other one is, may be up there, and there may be a switch 1 and 2. And Dallas ain't even winning. Dallas is the most, they're the most, what's my word? They're the most frustrating franchise on the planet for people who are Dallas Cowboys fans. And yet it has not impacted their valuation as a sports property. So that tells you right there, it ain't got nothing to do with people winning necessarily. It's the market. It's the other items that are in the stew, the things that are in the pot that make the brand. It's all of that. So Dallas Wings, shout out to y'all. I mean, think about it. They catapulted beyond Vegas. They catapulted beyond Seattle. They catapulted beyond Chicago. They catapulted beyond the New York Liberty. Hey, it is what it is. But that's it. That's my quick report on the Dallas Wings. Loving what's happening in the Dallas Wings organization right now. I'm going to miss Odyssey Sims and I'm going to miss Mo Billings because I am unapologetically fans of those two ballers. But y'all check out the Dallas Wings this Friday. Your girl will be calling that game along with Ron Thulin on Ion. We'll see you there and we'll talk to you soon. Hey, what do y'all think about the Dallas stuff? I mean, what do you think about the rule, the exception rule, the hardship rule, the valuation, anything you want to chop up on this video? Let me hear it in the comments and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Women's Basketball TV with Fran Harris, the most provocative and entertaining women's basketball show on earth. Be sure to click that like, share and notification button so you don't miss a moment. We'll see you tomorrow.